Hey lovelies, welcome to our Mini Fascia Release course. Today you're going to need a soft massage ball and a empty pillowcase. So these videos are going to be quite short so that you could maybe do this in the morning when you wake up, maybe in the middle of the day when you're feeling maybe a little bit stiff and tight, or maybe before bed and you haven't got maybe a lot of time. I do really recommend as well to make sure you're hydrated. So making sure that you've drank some water before the session, have some water maybe during, and then also some water afterwards, because it's a detox for the body. And the more hydrated we are, the more we can help the body move through breaking down old tissues that we no longer need, and to help them release through the breath, the urine, and through sweat. We do breathe out 70% of toxins. So, yeah, the more hydrated we are, the more the body can function really well. So, grab yourself, you might need to pause this video, a empty pillowcase, grab your soft massage ball, and then come and join me. So, we're going to start standing. So, before we use the pillowcase, we're going to be putting the ball underneath the foot. So, imagine this is your foot, and you're going to be rolling the ball down and across the foot diagonally. However, as you're doing it, you're going to put the ball under the foot and you're gently going to be creating this soft, squishy sensation. Now, the harder you press, the more you're going to feel. However, if your feet are sensitive, start off gently and then start to work your way in. So I'm going to start with my right foot. Place the ball bang in the center of the foot, pressing down and just gently squeezing. Keep the hips soft, knees soft. What you can do as well, if you're balanced, even if you feel quite balanced, it is quite nice to have a wall to your side and just lightly press down on the wall. And then start to work your way up towards the center of the foot, towards the second and third toe. So if you've ever juiced a lemon, it's like that kind of sensation. It's important to notice what's happening with your jaw as you're doing this. You might be biting your teeth. So keeping the mouth relaxed, keeping the fingers and the hands relaxed, and just gently working all the way up. So you squish under your toes, all the way up to the toe tips, and then working your way down. Now, the more regular you do this, you'll start to be able to move through it, possibly quicker over time. I'm going right to the heel. And again, you might want to use the wall and pressing down. So imagine if you've ever worn a shoe with a heel on it, you're digging the heel down as if you're digging it down into mud. You can lift the toes off, moving up and down. Once you've gone up and down the foot, start going to the side of the foot from the center, then over. As we're doing this, gently breathe in. As you go through, you might find there are spots that feel really sensitive. So I'd recommend staying with them and just holding, breathing into it. And then when you feel like that's enough, you then come out. Going right underneath the little toes, and then going all the way down the edges of the feet. So you cover the whole foot. Spread out your toes as you're doing this, maybe lift them up. Going into the arch, up and down. Now you can spend a lot longer. Like I said, though, this is quite a short video. So this could be like your get up and go, or it might be a wind down or in the middle of the day. So it doesn't take up too much time. Once we've done that right foot, let's just take a stop. Stand, feet hip width. Just take a moment, close the eyes, and just notice how maybe the right foot feels. And notice if there's any changes up the chain of the body on the right, the knee, maybe the hips, the shoulder, the jaw. Just compare how your right side of your body feels to your left. If you've got time, it can be quite interesting to do a little walk up and down as well, just to see if there's any differences that you feel in the feet. They might be subtle, they might be quite different. So let's move on to the left foot. So either holding the wall or finding a balance. Again, keep the joints nice and soft, hands nice and relaxed, starting in the middle of the foot like you're juicing it, working up towards the toes in the center. You could be just pressing down and up, or you might press and wiggle. Each day is a different day. You might find your shoulders want to go a little bit as well. Once you've gone up to the toes, sometimes it's really nice to push down and you'll get like a back bend in your toes. Toes can be really tight though, so be really mindful. However, the more you do this, you'll probably find the more flexibility you'll have in the feet. Going all the way down towards the heel of the foot. Maybe lifting up the toes, using the wall there for extra support. And then going into the inside arch. It doesn't matter which way you do this. You can create your own formula as time goes on. And then going into the outside edge of the foot. I'm just doing that today. Trying to stay regulated with your breathing. You just do this gentle swaying. You might find you really want to squat down and wiggle. Over time, the soft massage balls can get worn out as well. So it is worth keeping them, because sometimes the softer they are, you can get into different nooks and crannies, and then replacing them with a new one so you get that firm squish as well. So let's do like 10 more seconds on this foot. You could really push down and roll if that feels good. Great. And then just closing the eyes, soften the knees, noticing any shifts in the body, comparing the left side, the right side, anything changed. Maybe taking a little walk up and down, just seeing how that feels. You might want to walk all the way if you've got space in the room. Now we're going to grab the pillowcase, pop the ball into the pillowcase, and then let it fall into a corner. Now, most of you would, if you know the center of the back, we're going to start by working all around the shoulder blades, up and down. You might go all the way down the spine. So the spine's in the middle, and you can also go to the side of the spine as we're doing this. The reason I use the pillowcase is because if not, the ball just keeps dropping on the floor and you're constantly picking it up, bringing it down. So gently pop it over your shoulder so you can see. So the ball is around the shoulder blade. And then lightly pressing your back into the ball around the shoulder blade. Now it's important we keep the hips soft, knees soft, and breathing. You can then take yourself away, move the pillowcase, the ball down a little bit more, and then moving around that joint. If you don't like using the pillowcase, you don't have to use it. I'm going to start to go a bit down the spine. Like I said, this is a bit of an express version. You might find that you want to spend a lot longer. And if you're new to this kind of practice, like I said, you might find some really sensitive spots or some juicy spots or just some spots that you're like, yes, I want to get in there. So if you can, you would spend longer on the time. So moving it up maybe a bit higher. The journey of exploration with the body. You might even want to lift the arms up and down. Have you ever seen the Jungle Book, that when Baloo is scratching his back, I'm sure it's Baloo, so you could roll up and down. It's a light squat. I'm lifting up my toes to press more into my heels as I do that. And finding any new bits. So we're going to spend another minute here before changing to the other side. Keeping the jaw nice and relaxed. legs. You might want to lift both your arms up. You could put your bum on the wall. So we're like pushing into the ball and squishing it. If it feels too sensitive, don't press so hard. That's the beauty of using the pillowcase. Also protect the wall. Nice, slow breaths. Like I said, you can drop down lower in the spine and then go out towards the sides, the ribs. And just finishing up, take a moment. Let's just do a little check. Maybe close the eyes, hands down, and run your awareness up the side of the body that you were just massaging, noticing any differences up that chain, and notice from the foot all the way up to the crown of the head, the shoulders, the arms. You might feel a lot of change, you might feel very minimal change, or might not feel much. No judgment. The more curious we get, though, the more we'll start to be able to read the body. So change into the other side, and then just gently rocking all around the shoulder. And for example, this side for me feels quite a lot stronger. So each side might be different. It's very interesting. Again, keep the knees soft, breathing in and out gently through the nose or the mouth. Maybe take your legs wider if that's better for you. Option to bring the arm up or both arms. And then moving the pillowcase a little bit down lower or out or in. Think about, it's almost like you're trying to color your back in with a coloring pencil with the ball so that every area gets covered. You could be making your way down the spine on that side and out to the side. Keep that light pressure as you're gently pushing in and squishing and rocking. If you do find a really strong area, see if you can breathe into it. Sometimes we can shy away from pain, discomfort. However, sometimes when we work with these practices, if you can stay with it and breathe with it, taking a few extra breaths there, the body might open, and then perhaps next time you could go a bit deeper into that space, that classic, like an onion, peeling back the layers of scar tissue and muscles and joints that have maybe merged in a different way. So last little bit here, stay with the breath, move it back up higher if you found a good bit there. Maybe take the arms up. And then finishing that breath that you're on. If you're really enjoying though, like please feel free, pause the video, take longer. It's such a beautiful practice the more you do these sessions. Okay, and then taking that away, doing that little body scan, noticing how you're feeling. Great. Well done for joining me for this session today. I hope you enjoyed. Maybe any comments or feedback, please share on the video if you like, or you can message me directly. Remember to drink plenty of water today. And like I said, if you do the video again, being hydrated before and maybe during. And I will see you for our next session shortly. Well done.